Made it longer than I thought. So we're episode 26. We're here at the Well House. It's a hotel, Hilton Hotel Tapestry edition, I guess. I'm gonna call it collection.
Yeah.
All right. I'm here with Catherine Rentschler, 6th generation Hamiltonian. We counted up on her fingers.
Right.
She's pretty confident it's 6.
I think I got it right. I think I named them all.
And the reason I was really interested in that, I live in, I guess, your 6th great grandfather and grandmother's house over on Dayton Street. I bought that. I love that house. I don't always like keeping it up, but you know, it's a chore in itself. But I love living there. And it's a cool place. But this is a cool place too.
Thank you.
And I've lived here my whole life, and I don't think I've ever been in this building until today. And it's beautiful. You guys have done a good job. I don't know what it looked like before. I'm sure it was a lot of work. I seen you, not you, but all the people working.
Yes.
Because my office is down the street. But did you ever think you'd be opening up the Hilton Hotel in your hometown?
It has been the wildest ride, but it's been truly one of the most rewarding experiences of my life, for sure. To be able to do what I'm most passionate about, to be able to grow my career in my hometown has been really incredible. I'm so thrilled to be back. I moved back from Washington, D.C. I was there for 12 years. I moved back in 2021, and it's been absolutely wonderful. In fact, little story for you. Speaking of my family history, on my opening day, we opened the hotel on December the 20th. And it just so happened to be the day that Chris, who runs the cabin across the parking lot, was dedicating a new stave to my great-grandfather and grandfather, who were instrumental in bringing that log cabin from Park Avenue to this location. And that like full circle moment was really very humbling and very cool.
It is cool when life lines up like that, and it happens to me a lot. So you kind of got to notice them. It is cool. How did they get the thing here? Not to get off topic. Do we know?
At all. We've got them on the farm too. They took it apart and put it back together. I'm not exactly sure, but
That's
it was
awesome.
the log cabins were a passion project of both my great grandfather and grandfather. So. Very cool. But Josh, we opened on December 20th. So soft opening right before the holidays. Yes, absolutely. A 2+ year labor of love. The building was originally built as a hotel in the 1920s, 1927, opened as the Anthony Wayne Hotel. And I think what's so interesting is truly almost 100 years later, we are trying to build Hamilton and kind of continue the economic growth that Hamilton's been going through in almost the same way that motivated the original builders of this building to do the same. So in the 20s, obviously we were like an industrial powerhouse, right? Manufacturing powerhouse. And the Hamilton citizens responsible for building this building wanted a premier destination so that when they were courting new economic development, investors, that they had somewhere to put them and somewhere to stay. And, being back in Hamilton and watching so many incredible small businesses and community members really put down roots and, with Spooky Nook developing and opening as well, we are really excited, as I said, almost 100 years later, to be back and helping to continue the economic boom that Hamilton's seeing now. So
that's cool. I mean,
very cool.
I mean, your ancestors were helping during that original boom, and now you're kind of like still around, and we're finding our legs again in Hamilton. I mean, I can imagine how far we've come. If you'd have looked back when I was in high school, I just never would have believed this would have been a Hilton Hotel. But here we are, and it is happening from lots of people's help. And you said you came back from DC to further your career, and you said you only really knew how to do one thing, and that was be in hospitality.
That's right. It was my first job. I kind of fell into it accidentally. I went to Ursuline for high school, and my junior year, we had to do a career shadowing day. And it just so happened that at the time, a girlfriend of mine, her mom was the general manager of what was the Cincinnatian Hotel downtown. And so we were, we were just trying to figure out, how do we get this done, this job shadow day done. And so I shadowed the general manager at the Cincinnatian and came out of that day with a part-time job working the desk on the weekends and truly never looked back. It's all I've ever done. I studied hospitality in college. I went to the College of Charleston in South Carolina, which was incredible. I mean, that city truly thrives on its tourism industry. So got the classroom experience, the real world experience, and then moved to DC. I worked for Hyatt Hotels for 10 years of the 12 that I was there. primarily in the luxury and the diplomatic space. So I handled all heads of state visits, incoming delegations, foreign dignitaries coming to visit, the president or members of the Hill. And so that was an incredible experience. So much fun. Yeah. And then, unfortunately was furloughed in 2020, like most people in my industry were.
Tough.
And yeah, truly the travel and tourism industry was kind of decimated at that point. And so told my parents that I was moving back in with them, and stayed for about 8 or 9 weeks, and didn't overstay my welcome, I don't think. And at that point, Spooky Nook was really sort of gaining traction. They were fully under construction, and I just kind of thought maybe this is a really great time to make a change, come back home. One of my siblings is also here. My sister Emily is a teacher out at Wilson.
Oh, cool.
And she and her husband have 3 kids, so I get to be the fun aunt, which is awesome. So yeah, I've been back ever since, and I was at Spooky Nook, which was an incredible experience. It's just such a unique venue, and I'm so excited to see them continue to grow. Was there for 2.5 years, and then when this project sort of, really solidified, I thought this is a great opportunity for me to continue my career. We are a relatively small property boutique in that we're only 54 rooms. So most of my career has been in the sales and marketing space within a hotel. So selling, to meetings and events and blocks of rooms for different individuals coming in the diplomatic space, like I mentioned. Here, I get to do that, but I'm also sort of working as the general manager because we're so small. So overseeing the daily operations as well, which is awesome because that's a new experience for me to combine those 2 fields. So still super challenging, but fun.
Yeah, get more experience. So you need less employees total because it's a smaller place, so you got to have more hats.
Exactly. You wear
and
quite
tiring.
a few. Yeah.
I've been there. I think I was there this morning, most of this day, honestly, doing a few different things. Why do you think, like Hamilton specifically, or other towns like Hamilton, you were working in bigger cities.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Charleston's big hospitality town, Washington, D.C., tons of hotels. Why do you think places like Hamilton only had 1 or 2 hotels for so long? But now it seems like it's kind of like we're having an uptick in hotels.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it has a lot to do just with the way that our industries have changed, what is coming into Hamilton. Back when the Anthony Wayne was first built, we were a manufacturing powerhouse, right? General Machinery and paper, Champion Paper and Mosler Safe, and we were all, in industry and manufacturing. And when that all left, I think Hamilton kind of had to figure out what our new identity is going to be. So, the whole idea is that the travelers come, and then the hotels will follow. So, the idea of a Tapestry Collection as well, which is really fun, is to kind of truly embrace the locale and the local environment in which they're located. So it's really exciting for me to have the opportunity to incorporate a lot of local small businesses and what they're doing and showcase a lot of great nonprofits. So, we really are intended not just to put heads in beds here, but to really have our visitors experience why we love Hamilton so much.
Can you give us examples of some of maybe those cross promotions or, how you're helping some of the nonprofits?
Absolutely. One of the most fun projects we did in pre-opening is in the guest rooms. We have 7 floors, right? So on floors 2 through 6, because of how the rooms were restructured, their footprints, I had these like unsightly HVAC panels, right? Like just where the HVACs went. I mean, truly like 30 by 30. I mean, and so I just thought to myself, what if we made it look like a frame almost, like we made it look more purposeful, because I can't move it, but again, it really takes away from the decor. So I called my good friend Kim Neal Davis at Inspiration Studios, and I said, what if we had the artists create murals that highlighted Anthony Wayne, highlighted the Well House, highlighted this area, and also what they love about the neighborhoods in Hamilton. And they were also able to then magnetize those murals. And so we put them on all of the HVAC panels, and we've got 4 artists that created 4 different murals. And so that was a really fun project.
That's
to work
cool.
on.
Yeah, and Inside Out Studio is an awesome place.
Yeah,
for
amazing.
Sure. Yeah.
So we've done that. And then, also just in regards to like offerings and amenities on property, I've got, we were talking before we started about Pawnee Water, which is great. So that's in all the guest rooms. We've got a little like 24/7 grab and go market too, where we're showcasing 80-acre salad kits, and Hyde's is making little cutie pies for us,
awesome.
and Alexander's is doing pasta salads and sandwiches, and so anytime that we can, showcase those local small businesses and how hard they're working, we're trying.
That's awesome. And obviously you're going to be housing out-of-town travelers or visitors,
Yep.
but what can people who live here and maybe don't need to stay in a hotel, what can they come if they want to come check out?
Yeah.
What's the best thing to do? I know you got the restaurant over here, so maybe talk about
great
that.
Question. The Lucky Well, so it's an Irish pub themed
All right.
restaurant. So right now they're open daily for dinner, closed on Sundays. But the exciting part about bringing them on board as a restaurant partner is that they're run by the Cafeo restaurant group. And for us locals, we know Cafeo because they also operate Billy Yanks. And Billy Yanks has done an amazing job kind of, ingraining themselves in the community over the past 3.5 years. We know they do a great job. Service is great, food is great. So we're super excited to have him on board because he understands the community. And please come by. They are open 4 to 10 weekdays, 4 to 11 weekends, closed on Sundays, like I said. And we are starting to work on what we want to do for St. Patrick's Day, right? It's coming up soon. We can't have an Irish pub on property and not not do something amazing for St. Patty's.
And I missed the most obvious question, Well House. What's the name come from?
Great question. So the Well House comes from the fact that right outside the front doors, really sort of like underneath where the parking lot is, about 30 yards off of the front doors, is where the original freshwater well was dug by the original Hamilton settlers in the 1790s. So there's a plaque outside that was dedicated. So like it's somewhere deep underground out there. And the idea is that a well, especially for those earliest settlers, right, would have been like the gathering place, kind of like a tavern or the water cooler of offices, past offices. It would have been a gathering place for people to come together, to collaborate, to share their successes, their struggles as they were like building, the Hamilton that we know. And we really want to incorporate those ideals into the hotel. We want you to come, everybody's welcome, collaborate, celebrate, locals and visitors alike. So that spirit is why the Well House.
And then you asked me earlier, why am I even doing this podcast? Kind of like for little things like that, tidbits about my town. I didn't know that this was around the original well, and I never would have known that if I didn't ask that question.
Right.
So every interview I do with someone, I learn more about, obviously I'm learning about the people, what they got going on, but I learned a little bit more about my town, which is part of me too.
It.
So
yeah, absolutely.
What else should people know, if anything, about the Well House or what you guys have planned coming up in the next year? Because I know you're just kind of getting going. You've been open about a month.
We are, We've been open a little over a month. So we are so excited to, like I said, welcome, guests and locals alike. We invite you to come, especially for those people who have been in Hamilton, for generations that know the building from its past. We want you to come and see what we were able to restore. We're really proud of kind of the architectural pieces that we were able to refurbish. But we are really excited to be here. We want to be a contributing member of the community. So we invite you to come and stay and enjoy. Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. We're going to have to go check up some rooms, maybe.
Yes, definitely.
Get some B-roll of those. But I appreciate you sitting down with me. And,
thanks, Josh. It's a pleasure.
And I don't know if I can ask, how much does the room run, just so people know? And where's the best way for them to just go on the Hilton website or some
Great
Expedia?
Question. Yeah. Book direct, please.
All right,
I don't want to pay those Expedia commissions.
All right.
We should be starting right around the $200 mark, and then moving forward from there for for rooms. Obviously, those weekends we're seeing a little bit more demand, and so that will affect pricing. But yeah, please visit the Hilton or the Tapestry website and search for the Well House, and you can book direct, become a Hilton Honors member, earn those points, and then you can earn free stays and upgrades. So.
You guys have social media specific to this hotel?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, pressure's on. You gotta get that done. We're gonna have to post this. We're gonna tag you in this video.
I know it. I know it. It is on my to-do list. Goodness.
All right.
Grows every time I check one thing off, 3 things grow.
I had to edit, but we gotta do it. He won't get this edited for a little while, so we'll get it out. All right, Catherine, I really appreciate you taking time to sit down with me, teaching us about the Well House and the building, and just let me in. I've looked at this building my whole life, never been inside to today, so it's kind of special day. I'm glad you guys are getting going.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.